put in the work and just stay true to yourself. I think that's the most important thing, is to put in the work, put in the time, and stay true to yourself. And as long as you do that, I just believe you'll be successful.
What's up guys, Celine from Sidewalk Talk, and today we're with Nostalgix.
Hello everyone, so happy to be here.
I know, and you just moved out to LA. You were born in Iran and you moved to Canada. Can you tell me more about how you grew up and like what it was like?
Yeah, so I grew up in Tehran, Iran, and lived there so I was about 7. Very different life. It's like completely different culture. You live very differently than you would here. Like when I grew up, obviously there's no like internet back then.
Wow, yeah, that's right.
All you do as a kid is basically like run around. You have your friends, and that's the thing. But it was a really good childhood for sure.
Do you miss Iran?
I do. I really want to go back one day, but going back is just like such a big deal because you have to plan out like a month at least to be there.
Wow.
It's also pretty far.
Yeah. How long was the flight?
Long. I remember like very long, but I was a kid, so I don't know exactly, but I want to say it's like a 1-day process for sure. It's far.
And why did you guys decide to move to Canada?
So I have a sister, and my parents wanted us to move to Canada to give us a chance to like have a good life and be able to do anything we want in our lives, because in Iran as women it's hard to go out there and have a lot of options in your career. Like there just isn't much to do. Even if you go to school, unfortunately, there's just not many options. So they wanted to give us the best chance at life, and that's so sweet, right? So wholesome. And so they moved to Canada.
Oh wow. And how was it in Canada? Was it like a complete culture shock for you?
Oh my
in the
God.
beginning?
It just felt like home. Like right away, I just felt like I already knew Canada, and I just felt like I fit in right away, even though I couldn't speak the language.
Yeah.
I just really liked it there, and I would like talk to my stuffed animals or whatever until I eventually like learned the language and then made friends, and then it really became home.
That's awesome. And you started learning music out there, or when did you start discovering EDM?
So it's actually back in 2006.
Okay.
That's, or like 2005 is kind of when I discovered EDM.
A long time ago.
Yeah, 2015.
Oh, I was like, wait, how old was I at 2006?
2005, that's a long time ago. 2015. Okay. I would have been real young.
Yeah.
But 2015, I was like final year of high school, and I'd never been to a show, I'd never been to a festival or anything, and I was just very wholesome. Hadn't really seen much. And one of my friends told me there's this rave happening.
Did you know what
was
a
playing.
Rave meant?
I knew kind of.
Okay.
Like I just expected like a big party. I didn't know exactly like what to expect or like what people would be wearing. So like I just went in jeans. But my friend tells me to go, and I'm like, okay. I knew a couple people going. I was like, why not? Let's go. Let's see what this is. And I went that night and just was absolutely blown away. I was standing in the middle of the crowd. Confetti is blowing everywhere. Hardwell is throwing down.
I could like totally visualize this in my head right now.
Me in my jeans, I'm like standing in the crowd like, wow. I just felt like so loved and accepted, and felt like I finally had a place I belonged in the world. And that was just through the music and through everyone that was there, and just like the welcoming energy of electronic music.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's like such a touching like story. And that's when you started realizing you wanted to be in the industry.
Yeah, well, a little bit after that, I just started going to shows and seeing more of the music and learning more about that. And I started getting into promoting, so I was hosting events while I was in high school, and
underage?
Yeah, underage events. In Vancouver, we accept like underage clubs. So I would like book out the clubs, and I would throw these parties.
Wow.
for like my grad class. I'd be like hustling tickets at school. I was
so
like,
funny.
I was president of student council.
Oh, so you're popular too.
I was, yeah. Well, I wouldn't say popular, but I had friends.
Yeah. Okay.
But I would be in school doing everything the best that I could, and I'd also be selling tickets on the side.
And you want to buy some tickets?
When nighttime came, I was a promoter.
That's so funny.
But from there, it wasn't until 2016 when I saw Dr. Fresh performing in Vancouver.
Ooh.
At the PNE Forum. And that just blew my entire mind because that was my first time
was
seeing.
the moment.
That was the moment. That was the moment. That was my first time seeing like house music, bass house, G house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely different from Hardwell.
Yeah,
I will say that.
I love Hardwell and the energy, but when I heard Dr. Fresh's set, I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. It was so like fresh and bouncy and energetic, and I just really let's go.
I know, we're just getting hit by like leaves every time.
I love that we're just walking.
Yeah.
It was just the best energy ever, and I fell in love even more at that point, and I went home and I'm like, I need to make this. And from then on, I just started producing, teaching myself, and
I saw you were self-taught, which is impressive.
Thank you.
Did your parents support you in your journey?
Yeah, they've been very supportive of me, of anything I want to do, because I think they just know that if I want something and I set my mind to it, I'll do it. But obviously, because they grew up in Iran, that wasn't really a thing for them to like experience, so they don't really know fully, and they've never been to a show yet.
Oh, they haven't yet?
They've never been to a show yet. So
have you invited them out?
I'm gonna when the time is right. I think a festival in Vancouver would be the timing.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've been very supportive and loving though through everything.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Is your sister also doing something similar or completely different from you?
Oh no, very different. No one in my family is doing music.
Oh. Wow.
So I'm kind of like the little odd sheep, just running off to do her thing.
To do your own thing.
Yeah.
And when did this become full-time? Was this more recent or?
Actually, last year.
Oh wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Last year you became full-time.
Yes, so last year because of COVID, obviously a lot of people lost their jobs, so I went full-time into music, and honestly it's been the best thing ever because I've been able to just wake up every day, focus on music and all the things that I want to do all day and all night, and it's just been really good, and I've really seen the outcome of actually being able to do this full time.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you came out with the EP last year,
yes,
as well as some singles this year. What would you say is up in the works?
Up in the works, I've got a lot of music up in the works right now. A lot of very special records. I'm working on really just going in and putting a lot of time into each record to make it as amazing as possible. So you're going to be hearing more of that in the fall and 2022.
It's exciting. Like, where would you say your inspiration comes from?
My inspiration? I would say I get inspiration from honestly everything around me. Like, it could be this street that we're walking on right now. It could be this bucket hat. That's
so wholesome.
I do like the bucket hat. It's fire.
Thank you.
I just get inspiration from like anything and everything all the time. And I especially get inspiration from going to shows and just being around creative people. I think seeing live music and coming back to that has been the most like inspiring.
Going back to shows.
I know, it's just such a big part of my life that I miss so much.
Yeah. And you just moved out to LA a few weeks ago.
I did.
How was that move?
It's been crazy.
It's exciting.
It's so exciting, so crazy, because I've dreamed about it since I was like 16. It's all I've wanted to do was come out to LA and pursue a creative career.
Now you're here.
Now we're here. And it's really crazy because I'm starting to tour, but I'm also like looking for places to live.
Oh, you still haven't found one?
We're looking. LA is massive. Compared to Vancouver, LA is massive.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Doing all that in between the music and living, it's been good.
What's the upcoming tour that you're going on?
So I'm doing a tour around North America and a lot of dates in Canada as well. lots of festivals, club shows, all that exciting stuff. It's already been announced, so tickets and everything are on sale as well.
Check it out. Check out her show coming soon.
See me live.
You're moving here, you're touring, you're going to all these shows. How are you managing your time?
That's a great question.
And making music?
I'm just kind of, honestly, I've been scheduling my time by like hours every single day. Every night before I go to bed, I make like a schedule of the day. I'm like, this chunk of time is going to be for music, this time is going to be for this. This time I'll put towards like moving and settling in. So I've just been staying as organized as I can to just use my time as best as possible right now.
Okay, it seems like you have it pretty like under control, you know what's going on.
We're trying.
And I know you're also starting to like sing or rap more on your songs. Do you want to talk more about that? Since that's more recent, right?
Yeah, so starting last year I actually got into doing vocals on my own records. So the first time I did that was on my Act Out EP actually.
Oh.
You can hear it on my song Act Out, as well as my song Realist, but it's just something that's been very fun for me to do, and it's given me a lot of creative control because I can just sit in the studio, I can produce the record, and then I can start freestyling and get vocals down or write the lyrics for the song and just play around with it, and also produce and process the vocals. So it's really fun because it just gives me like so much freedom to do anything I want, and I can get so creative with it. So that's something that I'm definitely doing more of as of lately.
That's awesome. I feel like you can do everything from start to finish yourself, and like you don't need anyone else. It's just
exactly. It's nice. You can just sit in a studio, you come out and you're like, whoa, I just made that. And then you have that piece of work forever.
And what is your process from starting a song, like start to finish? Do you start with like the lyric first, or what part?
Sometimes I'll start with vocals, lyrics, or bass, or start at a drop. It really just depends what inspires me. As long as I find like somewhat of an idea, a sound, or I come up with like just like a 1 second clip of anything and I like it, I can just quickly turn that around into a whole idea. But it really just takes like one idea. I get the idea down. Yeah, start something, get the idea down as quick as possible. Like, don't worry about the technical side of things. And then once the idea is down, I'll hop into like actually arranging and doing all like the mixing and getting more technical with it, just to make sure it sounds as beautiful as possible. And then, well, bam.
And then it's done.
You have a song.
How long does it usually take you? Like, what's the range?
Ooh, it really depends. Sometimes I can like make something in like a day.
Oh.
Like my song Realist came together, like the whole idea within 3 hours, and then I finished it a couple days after that. But also I'll have songs where it'll take like a couple years, they'll be in the works. I'm like, I'll put some work into it when the time is right, and then I'll come back. But I like doing both because when you make a song really quickly, then it's just like, okay, it was meant to be. It just feels right. We're gonna put it out.
Yeah.
But sometimes songs like just require a bit more like love and time and thought. And I think that's really cool as well, because you can like take time, keep coming back to it. And I feel like that's how you make something like really timeless that you'll be happy with forever too.
It's true. What would you say are your favorite songs that you've released?
Ooh, that's hard because I love all of them for different reasons. But I have really been loving my song Realist right now. That came out on UKF, and Black Mirror that came out on Deadbeats.
Ooh.
I just really like what I did with the production. And on Realist, that was my first time kind of singing more on a record. So I just really like where I took those, the direction, like how I produced those. So I'm proud of those.
Oh, yeah, I feel like, especially now that you are singing yourself too, it's like all yours and like your own music, which is amazing. What are some of the challenges that you've faced or are facing?
There's definitely challenges. I gotta say, I think music, just a career in music isn't the easiest thing to do. There's just a lot of things that you have to be on top of all the time, but you just gotta love the process and love every little thing about it. And yeah, you just got to make time for all the little details, and that's what I'm about. But I think time management right now is what I'm trying to be best at, and really making sure I get like the most out of every single day.
That's true. Yeah, I feel like time management is like the most important part to get everything done. If not, you're just kind of like, what am I doing?
I know, because I can sit there and be like, okay, I'm gonna work on music for a few hours, and then you're like in the mood, so you're like, okay, let's keep going. But then you neglect like other things that you could have been doing, like working on a set, working on artwork, or anything else, you know?
Yeah, that's true. So I know you've been on a lot of labels. Do you want to talk more about that?
Yes. So I've worked with a bunch of great labels like Confession, Night Bass, Bijou's D&D Records, Insomniac Records, as well as Deadbeats, Thrive Music.
It's a lot.
A lot of labels, a lot of great people, a lot of great families. Definitely grateful to work with everyone that I work with, because it's just like a great family. And every time you go out to a show with everyone, it's like the most beautiful thing. Like next week I'm performing on Bijou's tour in New York.
That'll be fun.
At Webster Hall, so it's gonna be fun. I love palm trees so much.
Do you have
them?
them?
Cute. We don't have them in Canada.
Oh.
They're just so cute. I just always look up in the sky. I'm like, look at them. They're just vibing up in the sky.
That's like, that blows my mind, because I grew up in California in palm trees, so I'm just like, oh, this is normal.
This is normal. It's so pretty. It's like the first thing I noticed when I came here. I'm like, palm trees.
Wow. Wait, was this your first time moving to LA, like seeing palm trees and everything?
Well, I've been to LA before for like
okay.
a week or two at a time. This is my first time like being out here.
Oh, wow. Okay, and I have one last question for you before we move on to the fan questions.
Okay.
What do you want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered for my music, my energy, and positivity.
Oh, I love that. Very straight to the point, very simple.
Yeah, I want to just be remembered for putting love into the world and making the world a happier place, and obviously my music too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Definitely see the energy. Very on brand.
Yeah. Let's go.
I'm like all sweaty. Okay, first one. How did you support yourself after leaving college?
Ooh, I was working 2 jobs at the time.
What were you doing?
I worked as a bartender, and I also worked as a DJ in Rogers Arena. So I would like work daytime somewhere.
This is too loud. Let's cross and go backwards.
We'll go that way. Get the palm trees.
Your favorite part? The palm trees. Okay. Sorry, you were saying that you would work 2 jobs.
Yeah, so in the beginning I was working like 2 jobs. So I would work as a bartender, and I also worked as a DJ, just performing in Rogers Arena, which is like a hockey stadium in Vancouver.
Oh.
In the beginning I was working the 2 jobs, and I would work daytime at one job and then run over and work nighttime at the other job sometimes. And then I would go home and make music.
Wow.
And I would be taking breaks and be like on my phone doing social media for music. So I was just like really making it work with what I had, you know?
Yeah, it's hustling.
Wow,
it's a full time.
Yeah. Eventually I was able to leave one job and then put more time into music. And then as of last year, I was able to go full time into music. And that honestly was the biggest change in my life, because it's allowed me to actually have freedom and do all the things that I want to do, and not have to hold back or put my energy towards other things.
Yeah, you can completely dedicate yourself to music now.
Yeah, but I think anyone that is pursuing music, you also have to have like somewhat of a safety net that you could lie on, because obviously with music it takes time to really make it work and actually be seeing profit from it.
Yeah.
So it helps to just have the side jobs and the side hustles just to make it work.
It's true.
Okay.
I was like, wait, could you give any advice to forging the DJ path?
My best advice is to get out there, talk to people, play as many shows as you can, and just try to DJ as much as you can. If you want to be a DJ, I think that's a great path. Like, talk to a lot of people, make a lot of friends, network. Just make friends with the people in your industry, because those are the people that you're gonna keep seeing time and time again. And just get yourself out there. Like, play as many shows as you can, take stuff on. Like, some days you'll have, like, in the beginning you'll probably have to work for free, but just get yourself out there and do what you can to show people who you are, and eventually lead up to carving your own path. But everyone's path is different, so it's really about just starting and then seeing where that takes you.
Like, not being scared to start and do something.
Yeah, and I think as a DJ that's the best thing to do.
Yeah.
As a producer, a little bit different, because you want your music to really do the talking. And that takes a lot of time spent in the studio alone, a lot of hours.
That was very beautifully said. I was like, wow, it's so inspiring.
I've been through it.
You want to have the music do the talking. That's very, very true.
Absolutely.
Wow.
The music will always do the talking.
But I feel like your personality is so like bright and happy and like energetic, and your music's just like, you know, like beats and like drops. It's like, it's interesting.
Yeah, I just love the high energy records, and that's what I'm focused on going forward too. I just want like energy. If you go to my shows, is energy. We bring that energy. Like, I have this thing where I like to leave every set sweaty as hell, because then I know that I went all in and I went hard, and that was a good set.
Ooh.
So I like people to walk away from the show, from the night, also sweaty. That's all I ask.
So everyone's just sweaty when they leave the venue.
There's just something to be said about like a sweaty ass party where everyone is just raging, having a good time. That's all I ask for. That's it.
I can just imagine like the venue, everything's just like sticky, and you leave and you're just like, oh, why do I feel like this? But it was the most worth it feeling. Like, I could see that.
You go home and you're like, damn, you know, there's just like euphoria in the air. You just had a great night. That's all I want. That's all I want. That's all I ask for.
This is what you want to be remembered for.
That's it.
The sweaty nights.
The sweaty nights
in the club. Wow, I want to go to one of your sets now. One day I will see.
Let's go.
Yes. When and where was the first time you performed for a crowd?
Ooh, okay, this is back in like 2017.
This is so recent. You're like back in the day, in 2017.
A lot has changed and a lot has happened since, but it was 2017. I was in university at the time, and I had just gotten a mixer, and I was practicing in my dorm room, so I was learning my thing and just DJing for fun. And I basically get a call from this venue at my university called The Pit at UBC.
Where'd you go to school?
UBC.
Oh,
University of British Columbia.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I got a call that night, and they're like, oh, our DJ is sick. There's like 2 hours, we need you to come in.
How did they know who you were?
Night. I was part of this EDM community in my school. There's a bunch of DJs that we would just like hang out and mix. So they gave me a shout, and they're like, hey, can you come out tonight? Like 2 hours notice.
Wow.
And I didn't really know what I was doing at the time, but I was like, yes. I literally ran from where I was at back to my dorm room in the rain, and then I grabbed my mixer, my tiny ass mixer in this box, and I just run back to the venue. I pull up, I didn't even have a chance to change my clothes.
Oh shit.
And I just show up, I start playing, and that was my first show. It was like the most random, out of place thing, but because I showed up and went for it and I just had fun, that was what led me to more shows.
Oh, so you had already the good energy.
Yeah.
So people wanted to book you more.
So that just like led me to more things and more opportunities and things that I was actually more prepared for.
Wow.
Gotta say, I literally opened that set with like a Pirates of the Caribbean theme song.
It's amazing.
Oh yeah, good times, good times. Times were very different, but it was so much fun. I still remember it so vividly.
Well, shout out to, what is it, The Pit?
The Pit.
The Pit in Vancouver for jump-starting her career.
I know, so random, but I feel like things like that come into your life for a reason.
Yeah. Wow. And so you were mixing a lot in college. Were you doing like college parties too? And like, frat sorority parties? Is that a thing out there?
That's a thing, yes.
Oh.
We have fraternities, sororities. It was actually after that pit show that I did that I started getting asked to play at different like frat parties. Those were fun, I gotta say. Those were like you're in like this big basement and it's just a big party.
Ooh.
Everyone in university, people just love to party, so it's just so much fun to throw down because everyone
threw down,
just having the best time of their life, you know.
Yeah.
So I played a few of those actually after that, and then after that I started actually playing clubs downtown.
Oh, wow.
And
as underage?
Well, I was playing underage clubs at the time because I wasn't legal yet. But then I think once I was 19,
wow,
I actually started being able to play like Celebrities Nightclub in Vancouver and all like the biggest spots in Vancouver.
Yeah.
And to me, at that point, I was like, okay, I played like all these amazing clubs, I've done all these amazing shows, but I want more from it. And I want to like, I want to have it be more about the music and my music, and I want to create an experience and have people come out to see a specific song of mine, like have a whole experience.
Yeah.
So once I did all of that and I played all those shows in that year, I decided that I wanted to make music and create more than just like playing songs out. I wanted to make a whole experience, a whole show, and have people come out for that.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like a whole story behind your sets. It's not just like bangers, it's like
exactly
your music and everything. Oh my god, I'm so out of breath. It's like
I know, I'm out of
going
breath
uphill.
Woo.
Okay, what are your favorite foods?
My favorite foods. I love Greek food.
Ooh.
And I also love healthy food. Like I love bowls. I also like chicken wings.
You went from Greek to healthy to wings.
I like all of that. I also like sushi.
Also, you like basically everything.
I like everything.
You're in a perfect spot because there's everything in LA.
Exactly. It's been good out here. But I specifically love... Are you ready? You'd never guess Greek food.
Wow! Amazing.
Yes.
That's so funny. And then... Oh. What's the worst job you've ever had?
Ooh. I'm not gonna name any names, but it was this serving job that I had.
Oh.
Serving job. It was just the people that I work with that weren't the nicest. But everything else, fire. Any other job I had, I always loved it. And even if it wasn't where I wanted to be in life, I always knew that those jobs would lead me to where I wanted to go in life. So I always looked at it as like an opportunity to just make money, use that money, put it into music. That's what I did always.
Invest in yourself.
Yeah, I would always make money from these jobs, put it into my music, and it paid off.
What are some countries that you want to visit?
Ooh, I really want to go to Europe.
Which part?
All of Europe. I really want to go
Greece.
to Greece for sure. Oh my gosh, I've been to Greece once. It's the most beautiful place.
It is.
I would love to go to Italy, France, anywhere in the UK, and Greece. And
for the food?
I also really want to go to Brazil. I would love to play out in Brazil.
Brazil has a good, like, I feel there's a lot of Dirty Bird fans out in Brazil.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like
Bass Heads.
Bass House, G House, I feel like there's a cool scene for that as well.
Yeah.
So that'd be really cool.
Oh. I have one last question for you from fan questions. What is your favorite venue that you've performed at?
My favorite venue? I really love Celebrities. Oh my god, I'm so conflicted right now. Okay. My favorite venue would be, I think, Celebrities Nightclub in Vancouver.
Oh.
Just because that was one of the first venues that I went to once I was legal. And I actually performed there right before COVID with AC Slater. It was a sold out night. It was just so beautiful, and everyone I loved and all my friends growing up were there, and it was just a very magical night. So I feel like Celebrities Nightclub just has a very special place in my heart.
I feel like Vancouver just has a very special place in your heart.
Well, that's where I grew up, and Vancouver's always been so good to me.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you for joining us on Sidewalk Talk, and yeah, we'll see you next time.
Thank you so much for having me.